Hey, I'm Sam, Flying Kite, and this is the Horror Show! Today I'm doing The Thing from Another World, 1951. This trilogy I'm doing is what I like to call the Who Goes There trilogy. Who Goes There was the short story that this was based off of, and, The Thing, and then The Thing were based off of, basically. I love this movie so much. I really do. I could follow. See, short little story time. When I was younger, I had a box TV and VHS player in it. So a VHS player in the TV. I'd fall asleep to movies all the time. If there was a movie I would fall asleep to, like the majority of the time, it was The Thing from Another World. If there was a movie I'd fall asleep to now, it's The Thing from Another World. I don't know if I showed it earlier. See, the DVD that Dad had, well, he still has it. See, I have, like, a normal DVD where you can, like, open it up normal like that. But he has the one where, like, you have to, like, pop that open and then you open it like that. It's so, like, that's so cool. I really like that. It's like, whenever I get a movie like that, it's always great. And I think I have a couple like that. I didn't really think about bringing them out right now. Anyway, this is a really nice one, at least in my opinion. This is I think I've seen a bunch, but in my personal honest opinion, this is the best 50s science fiction monster movie out there. There's a lot of other good ones, and, you know, people go being like, oh, the day the earth stood still, or, you know, it came from the sea, or whatever. And I'm like, no, it's The Thing from Another World. That's the best one. This is the best one, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, I have a new rating system, and I really hope it works out. See, IMDb, it's a 7.1 out of 10. Roughly 35,000 people voted. I'm doing a new system where it's 5 categories. It's technically 4, and then the 5th one sums all of it up, roughly, because how everything plays together. It's going to be a 5 out of 5 kind of thing. Not the movie. It's not a 5 out of 5, but it's going to be, you know, out of 5. So, the first one's story. I say the story's a 4 out of 5. Really good story. As I said, you know, there's... Oh, I don't even think I said what the movie's about. I don't remember. I mean, this is like my third take on this. I said it multiple times. I don't remember if it was this video, but just to go over it quickly. The movie starts off, there's this group of 4 or 5 guys, and they're part of the Air Force, the American Air Force, and there's this journalist, and they're all hanging out, and the captain, played by Kenneth Tobey, is called to talk with this general, and the general's like, hey, you gotta go out to this outpost because they said something fell down from the skies. Gotta go check it out, investigate it. Try not to be that long, blah, 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 blah. So the captain, you know, his character's Patrick Henry, that's who Kenneth Tobey plays. He goes out, he takes his his crew. They go out there to the outpost, they go investigate, and they ultimately find a UFO. They try to unearth it, but it blows up because of what they use. They use thermite bombs to melt the ice, and then it ends up blowing up the entire ship. And when they go and see if there's anything that remains, they find that there's actually a body that's outside of the ship. It's still in the ice, but it's not in the ship, and so they dig that up, and then they bring it back, and it ends up thawing out. Not on purpose, but it's not like it was, you know, it wasn't meant to be thawed out like that, but it finds a way of being thawed out. It's quite the, shucks. And chaos. Not like crazy chaos, not like The Thing chaos, but it gets a bit chaotic, and then you basically have 3 parties. There's the normies that don't know, you know, what to do. Then there's Captain Henry, who's like, we should take this thing out, like, kill it kind of thing. And then the main doctor, Dr. Carrington, who's played by Robert Cornthwaite, who's like, we must study it because it's so intelligent, and, you know, we could learn so many secrets from it, kind of thing. And so it's just that kind of back and forth until the end of the movie. A few people die, a little, but they're off screen. Yes, that's true. I was just trying to remember. I know 2 of them are off screen. Yes. The only death that's on screen is at the very end of the movie. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. I don't want to really talk about the endings anymore, honestly, because it's like, I'll tell you about the movie, but you go watch it because the ending's probably like the best thing about it. And I feel, I mean, like when I reviewed Night of the Living Dead, I really shouldn't have said anything about the ending. Or it's like, it's really good, can't tell you why. So that's not a part of the it's not part of the thing anymore. So I did story. The second is setting, which I say is a 5 out of 5. It takes place, it's more up north. It's supposed to take place in the North Pole somewhere. I don't think it's supposed to take place in Antarctica. That would have been really cool, but, budget, storylines, like, I can kind of see it. They're already in Alaska, and it's like, you're not going to go all the way south. Characters, 5 out of 5. I love the characters. I love the chemistries between the actors and such. I'll just tell you the actors here. Kenneth Tobey plays Captain Patrick Henry. Margaret Scheiden plays Nikki, who is basically the captain's love interest in this movie. Robert Cornthwaite plays Dr. Carrington. Douglas Spencer plays Scotty, who's the journalist. James Arness plays the Thing, which is really cool because he's like the big tall guy from like Gunsmoke or whatever, Western guy. And then there's a lot of other actors like James Young, Dewey Martin, Robert Nichols, William Self, Edward Franz, a few other people in there too. And it's just like that. Those are how they go about talking to people, like how Kenneth Tobey talks to like. I should have wrote down the characters' names because I don't remember the actors' names. When he's talking to his crew, his buds, it sounds so natural and so like it doesn't seem forced. It seems right. And honestly, I wish me and my friends could talk like that. But like I always like kind of pictured that's like if you're able to talk to friends like that, then like you got a really good situation. And this is the 50s, so it's like if I found those people, they're probably really old or really dead. So if I got story, setting, characters, the music is a 4 out of 5 for me. The composer for this movie was Dimitri Tiomkin, who, for one, I didn't really know who he was, but then when I found out what he did, I was like, oh, I'm so stupid. He did It's a Wonderful Life, and I really like that soundtrack, and I really like this soundtrack. No, to be fair and honest, the Thing from Another World soundtrack, there's only it's 2, 3, maybe 4 music pieces that you don't hear in anything else, and then the other stuff that you hear are things that you kind of hear in other science fiction movies in the 50s. It's that kind of not stereotype, but that cliche, I guess. But the music that he made that's in the movie, I think is really good stuff, and I didn't realize it until I listened to another version of it. See, I have Apple Music, and on Apple Music there's a little area for him on there, and I found that there's a version of the suit for this movie. And I was listening to it, and I heard a lot of It's a Wonderful Life in that. I was like, oh, okay, I can picture it now. I also heard a little bit of Army of Darkness in there, which is kind of weird. It's just kind of sounded, a little medieval, I guess. And then the last one is Atmosphere, in which is supposed to entangle all of it, all the story, the setting, the characters, the music, all of it together. How does it work? I say it's a 5 out of 5. I really like how it all fits. It all is so fitting. Doesn't feel forced. It feels so right. It's the whole idea of there's no way out of here. Not really. I mean, there's the airplane, but kind of can't just go out there. It's only meant to have so many people, and for how we're kind of stuck here. We're just stuck here. And then especially at the ending of the movie, it's quite the we gotta have a plan because we're effed if we don't. The dread, I suppose, of what this thing is, what's gonna happen to them there. It's just really good stuff, I think. Some of the best stuff out there, honestly. And a lot of the 50s movies, I would say they have a lot of great atmosphere. Now, it's maybe a bit stereotypical, but I mean, that's not a problem. And what do you mean by stereotypical? I mean, you know, it's... This is the whole 50s science fiction stuff. I mean, like... For the most part, there's something about a 50s science fiction monster movie that you can look at and point at and be like, see, this is why they're all the same thing. Not really like the same thing, but like you just tell that, oh, this is a 50s science fiction monster movie. And it has some of those elements in it, but I think the thing that's different about this is just that this was based off of something that, and they were trying their best to go about how it was in the original thing, but, you know, of course, because of budget restrictions, can't really do that. And of course, the movie being an hour 30, and them having to change the alien, then, you know, it's not perfect, of course, when it comes to the whole, it being its own thing, but I think it's really good, though, in being its own thing. And I think it's really different because of all of those things that they, you know, the story, the setting, the characters, the music, the atmosphere, I think all of that together is just... This makes this movie really special and makes it make a lot more sense of why a movie like this would inspire someone like John Carpenter to be who he ended up becoming. And, yeah. I mean, it just makes a lot of sense. So, IMDb has this movie a 7.1 out of 10. I have it a 4.6 out of 5. So, really good movie. You should watch, I think, anyway. And it's black and white, but that's not a problem. There's a lot of other things I would like to talk about, but, you know, I think I'll save those for some other time. Maybe a really long video comparing this and the other two. But if I did that, that'd be some other time down the road. And it'd take a lot of time and thought into it. But, yeah, I'm Sam, Flying Kite. This is The Horror Show. And I did Howard Hawks... one more thing. I should have probably said this at the very beginning. The movie is directed by Howard Hawks and Christian Nyby, although Howard Hawks is uncredited. Almost every single thing I've heard about this movie, when I was first talking to Dad about it, when I was younger, I remember him saying something along the lines of Christian Nyby directed it and Howard Hawks did something else, and it's like they kind of flipped roles or whatever. Like, Howard Hawks was supposed to do the thing, but then he was like, I don't want to do that, this is, you know, what you're doing, and then they basically switched. I don't remember if this was about the thing from the world, or if this was something else, but everything that I've looked up about this points to Christian Nyby kind of directed, but Howard Hawks directed. Christian Nyby got $5,000, but Howard Hawks got, like, $4,500. No. My bad. He got $45,000. There we go. So it's like Christian Nyby, you know, he's the director, but it's like, sure, yeah, he's the director. It just seems like he got a free pass, you know, to be like, oh yeah, I directed that movie totally, or I technically directed that movie. When it's like, did he really direct it? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'm Sam, Flying Kite. This was The Horror Show. This is The Horror Show. I did the thing from the world. And you should certainly watch it. I think it's on YouTube. I think it is on Tobey. I'm pretty sure. But I think it's on YouTube. I might be mistaken. But anyway, I'll see y'all next week for John Carpenter's The Thing.